Hello everyone, this is Dan Gramza, and welcome to Gramza Market Studies for Thursday, November 26th. Greetings from Australia, and also Happy Thanksgiving. You know, for Americans, it's a day that we can stop and take a moment to remember the blessings that we have in our life, and of course we don't have to be an American to take a moment to do that, and we all have something to be grateful for. Well, let's take a look at these markets. We can see in the U.S. session, things firmed up a bit. NASDAQ has not taken out these swing highs. The S&P did. We're up there knocking on that door. But look what happened in Asia and Europe. We're seeing weakness coming in all across the board in those markets. We're seeing a lot of action here overnight. And it's going to be interesting to see how the market relates to this in the shortened session that we're going to have in the U.S. So, interesting setup. It'll be interesting to see how far we get follow through if we do, and also how it sets up Friday as we go into that weekend. So let's take a look at how the currencies reacted to this. We can see in the euro, very strong move here yesterday, and we can also see some selling coming back in when it comes to the Asia, Australia, Europe time zone. Same thing with the Swissy, Japanese yen at 14-year highs against the dollar. Just amazing, isn't it? And we are looking for kind of a quiet session here. This movement that you're seeing is, from Asia through Europe right now. And in the early morning hours, we're still seeing that buying pressure there. On the other hand, the Australian dollar, British pound, Canadian dollars found sellers at these levels. So it's going to be interesting to see how the U.S. session, again, the shortened U.S. session, absorbs that information. We are looking for unchanged to lower. We're looking for continued strength in the Japanese yen. So that would mean a stronger dollar across the board compared to these currencies. Now, in the interest rate markets, let's take a look at those before we look at the metals. Interest rate markets, well, the short end of the curve making new highs. We are seeing some evidence, a little bit of selling coming into that market. But look at the 10 years. They have really taken off. We're looking for continued. Actually, this is, again, you're looking at the 26th. So that's Asia, Australia type time zone plus Europe. And a very healthy move. We're not looking for a bigger part of that movement. In other words, we wouldn't expect to double this when the U.S. session opens, in a sense, from the pit point of view. And it is a shortened session. But we are looking for a continuation of these buyers coming into the market. Bonds didn't have the same reaction. But again, we're looking for continued buying in that market for these buyers to continue to put pressure to the upside. In the metals markets, we can see in this overnight session, we're finding sellers at gold. Yesterday's action, very positive, and we're seeing a little bit of a pullback as we come into the holiday day here. But silver, that's took a little bit more of a hit. But I think silver can just wrap back and forth. This is the same as the shadow. And we are seeing continued selling in this market. But I think the first reaction we're looking for is for this market to continue in that sideways mode. Even copper made new highs here in that session. I mean, here's yesterday's action. Here we are today. So what we're looking at is Asia, Australia, and Europe. And that's very bearish. It is making new highs on selling. We are looking for further weakness in that market. In the energies, crude oil also came right back up. We talked yesterday that if we got above 77.50, I said it would be a big move. Well, it was a big move, but we didn't follow much after that. So what's going to be important for us today, if this market does back off, we want to get ready to sell this depending on how far it moves and how it moves to lower prices. So interesting setup here in crude. Natural gas gave us that nice big push to the upside. We're looking really for a rest day in today's action in natural gas. We're not looking for a dramatic move. And in the grains, a couple things I want to mention to you. One, we're looking at the March contracts, 2010 for corn and wheat. And we see a pretty healthy move here in beans. Again, a break and the market rallies right back up. And this is for yesterday's action that you're looking at there. We are looking for unchanged to higher going into the weekend. A nice strong close. Same thing for corn, and actually the same thing for wheat. We want to see if these buyers can follow through. And we'll find out here shortly. Well, this concludes today's market studies. Again, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Looking forward to being with you again tomorrow. And in the meantime, take care.